Hi everyone, welcome back to FUNSTON TV. This is my Tran. Today I wanted to share with you a makeup tutorial that I came up with because I'm going to a wedding today, and this is the look that I came up with. I have bold lashes on and I have a pretty wearable smoky eye, and I also accentuated my contour a lot and I put a lot of highlights, so it's very appropriate for nighttime. So if you're interested in finding out how to do this look, just keep on watching. Alright, so we are starting off with a clean face that's well moisturized as usual, and then as primer I'm using the Balm Put a lid on it, and I'm putting that on the lids, and I'm going to make sure to blend that in very well from the lash line all the way up to the brow bone, and also extending it on the lower lash line so that your eyeshadows stick. I'm also going to use that as a primer on the face, so I'm dotting that on the forehead and pretty much everywhere on the face and blending it in really well, just so it covers all your pores and your fine lines so that your foundation applies on really well. I'm also going to moisturize my lips using the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask. And for eyeshadow today, we're using an oldie but a goodie, the Naked Original from Urban Decay. Starting with a fluffy brush and the shade Naked, we're going to apply that everywhere on the lid and even extending it over the crease area just to make sure we have a nice blended look in the end. So this is pretty much our base color. You can go in pretty floppily at this point and make sure there's no harsh lines, so just go in back and forth between both eyes so that they look the same. Then with the same fluffy brush and the shade Buck, you're gonna accentuate the crease and the outer V area and just focus the color on the outer third of the eye, and you're gonna blend it in inwards and also upwards towards the crease to meet with that initial naked shade that we put on. You can go as dark as you want in this step, and with a clean brush you're just gonna blend out the edges from those two shades that we just put in so that nothing is harsh and that everything is blended super seamlessly. Then going in with the flat brush and the shade Half Baked, I'm gonna pack that on everywhere on the lid. You can even wet your brush at this point. I'm going to do it later, but you can do it initially. Just going to pack it on from the inner corner all the way to the outer corner and extending it all the way up to the crease so that all your lid is golden. Then there you go. You just wet your brush with some Fix Plus and dab that over the Half Baked shade just so that it looks a little more metallic and shiny. You can also use eye drops for this step, but water wouldn't work. You can also extend that color on the inner corners of your bottom lash line. Then with a little pencil brush and the shade Dark Horse, I'm going to trace an outer V on my eyes. Since I don't have a really defined crease and I have hooded eyes, I'm going to create an outer V just to create the illusion of a deeper crease. So just apply an outer V shape and then slightly bring it inwards and also blend it in towards your lid. Just take your time in this step. Go back in with a fluffy brush just so there's no harsh lines once again. And once you blend like that, you might also want to add some lid color or some darkness on the outer corners of your eyes as well. So here I am, I'm going to be adding some of that Dark Horse shade that we lost during the blending process. You can go as heavily as you want on this step to make the outer corners really, really dark. Then for foundation, I'm using a mix of the Estée Lauder Double Wear and the Yves Saint Laurent Ink Foundation, and I'm going to be applying that on with a beauty blender. Just blend everything so that it matches, and you can even go in with a second layer as I'm doing right here. Then for brows, I'm using the NYX Gel Brow, and I'm going to be defining my brows to be really sharp and really dark. So always start at the outer tail, that's how I do it, and go in with a heavier hand on the outer tail. And whatever is remaining on your brush, you can go in and fill the inner part of your brows, and then obviously blend everything with a spoolie so that there's no harsh lines.
Then for concealer today, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Sand. I'm going to be putting that everywhere to act as a highlight as well. So on the forehead, under the eyes, and some blemishes, and also on the chin. I'm also going to use a darker shade of the Fit Me Concealer. This is Café, and I'm going to use that as a cream contour. So I'm putting that on the forehead, on the cheekbones, and under the chin as well, and on the sides of the nose. I'm going to be blending it initially with a beauty blender, but then it didn't work out really well. As you can see, I'm going to be switching over to something else really soon, but make sure you blend in your concealer before the contour. That's why I made a mistake here, just because you don't want any contour shade in your concealer. So blend in your concealer first and then your bronzer. This is a Sephora Pro concealer brush that I'm using right here. Just make sure it's blended in really well under your cheekbones and that there's no harsh lines. Really take your time here because you don't want to look like a hot mess and have some extra creamy brown on your face. Then I'm just going back in with a beauty blender just to further blend everything in. Then just line your upper lash line. I'm using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper, and I'm going to go extend a pretty dramatic wing as well. Feel free to leave it out if you don't like winged liner. But just flick it out and connect it to the initial line you drew. And then blend in your lower lash line. I'm using a flat definer brush, and I'm going in with the shade Buck at first, and then I'm going to be darken my lower lash lines with the shade Dark Horse, just because you want the same shades on your upper lids as you have on your lower lash line, just to balance out everything. Then with a small pencil brush, I'm just going to smoke out those two shades that we just put on. Just keep blending until it looks really nice. And then for the lower waterline, I'm using a black pencil from Urban Decay just to make the look a little more dramatic. And I'm also going to be lining my upper waterline. This looks really scary, but I think it looks really nice overall with this look to have a really black waterline. For contour, I'm going to be using the NYX Pro Highlight and Contour Palette, and I'm going to be putting that over the cream contour we just put on, just to really make sure that we have a very, very defined and accentuated contour. And then for blush, I'm using this one. I think it's called Magic from Tarte, and I'm going to be putting that on the apples of the cheeks and blending it backwards towards the temples. And then I'm going to be using that same palette from NYX again, and with those highlight shades, I'm going to be carving out that contour we just put on. So you want to put it under the contour to really, really put an emphasis on that contour. And I'm also going to set my under eye area with that same powder, and it's going to also brighten everything. And then curl your lashes and apply some mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Carbon Black Voluminous. Don't forget your lower lash line. This is a tiny mascara from It's Skin. Then pop some lashes on. I already have them on. These are from Ardell. Then I'm going to be lining my lips with NYX pencil. I believe this is Neutral Statement. I'm not sure. I'm going to be listing it down below. And then going in with L'Oreal She's So Matte Lip Pencil. I really love this one. And then for highlighter, we're going to basically be putting this everywhere. So on tops of the cheekbones, on the tip of the nose. I'm also going to be putting some on the Cupid's bow using a smaller brush, and on tops of the brows, and also with a smaller brush on the brow bone. And then I'm going to be setting my face using a loose powder with a dampened beauty blender, just so everything is set and locked in place. And then with a smaller brush, just dust off any excess powder that you put on. And for face spray today, I'm using Max Fix Plus. Then just fan off your face for a bit. And here's your final look.
Okay, so that was it for my tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's super wearable even for date night, or even if you want to go somewhere special for the night. This is not only for being a guest at a wedding, obviously. Let me know down below what you'd like to see next. Please thumbs up this video if you like it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. I hope you're having a great one, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome back to FUNSTON TV. This is